Okay, cue jingle.
Cue jingle. Da, 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 da. There it is.
Here we go.
And we're here. Hey,
Hang on.
Jonathan.
Let me get my seatbelt on.
Oh,
Let's go.
buckle up.
Welcome everyone to Tasty Gents.
Welcome to Tasty Gents.
That's right. Greg and I do a podcast
Weekly,
weekly,
except for
last week.
Last week.
Well, we did two the week before, so kind of. We do a weekly podcast. We just talk about how awesome it is to be us and the restaurants that we eat at.
And honestly, there's a lot to say when we talk about how awesome it is.
I mean, we could just go on.
And we do. You'll see.
Yeah, you'll see.
Jonathan, is this our first full return since the Martha Stewart Omnimedia debacle?
It is.
I think it is.
Yeah.
If you missed it, our podcast the week of April Fool's Day, we talked about our purchase by Martha Stewart Omnimedia for a whole lot of money. And then on April Fool's Day itself, we admitted that we lied to you. In fun. In jest, we lied.
Unless Martha's into it. Then, hey, Martha.
Yeah.
Still here.
So, but in the absence of Martha coming through with the cashola, we're going to go ahead and move forward. We are both in Palm Springs, California right now.
Beautiful day, 80 something.
On its way to low 90s today.
Yeah.
We were just in the pool with the third tasty gent, Andrea, who's still often behind me, but she opted to stay in the pool.
She's at the pool still. Yeah,
Shocking.
She's gonna miss it.
Shocking.
Yeah.
But we have a bunch of stuff to talk about today, don't we?
Oh, we do.
We do.
Yes, we do have. And we have a kind of a little bit of that. We talk about food a lot. We talk about our lives a lot. We talk about your relationship status a lot. But what we're talking about today is what? Something different.
We're talking about thermonuclear dynamics.
Yes, because we're good at stuff.
We are.
I watched 3 YouTube videos. I'm an expert now. Before we do that, we do have a sponsor this week. This episode brought to you by Shields. Shields in the desert. It is the original date farm. This is actually true. All this, they're not our sponsor, but we have a Shields date shake, which is a milkshake that's got their date crystals sugar in it. And it's the best date shake you're going to get in the desert.
I will say, I had not had the Shields date shake prior to right now, and I had not been to Shields before, but it's kind of great. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
Although I will say, I have some concern over the conspicuous absence of an apostrophe.
Oh.
So apparently, well, I was going to say it's multiple Shields, and in fact, it is. There are 2 Shields in the front. I stand corrected.
Yeah. Well,
I assumed it was Ron and Deborah Shields.
No,
and this was their date shake. Wow, that was a tangent, but it's quite good.
They're good, yeah, and they've been around a long time. So they have a movie that they put together that you can watch. And they still play it every day on loop. They have a little tiny theater. The sex light of the date palm. The sex life of the date palm, and it's juicy.
Is it? I see what you did there. Well, yeah. So we are not actually sponsored by Shields, but if they want to,
hey Shields, yeah,
we'd love that shit.
Anytime.
We have a number of things to talk about today. We're going to talk about pickles.
Oh,
not that. That was weird. And
yes, you've had some momentous. You have pickled a peck of cucumbers. Is a peck the right amount?
More than a peck.
More than a peck. A peck is technically what you can fit in your upturned shirt.
I think that's
is that
not correct, but I like it.
Oh.
I can tell you the original recipe that I have from my grandmother. So this is my grandmother's recipe. Her name is Virginia. She has passed on now, but only very recently. And in the original recipe she sent to me, she does a full peck, which she said at the time was about 75 pickling cucumbers.
Oh my gosh.
So I was slightly over a peck. I had 35 pounds of pickling cucumbers.
35 pounds.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's the average size for your cukes? Are they smaller? Are they medium? Like
pickling cucumbers are smaller, and I'm going to put up some pictures of what I did. Pickling cucumbers are smaller. Most importantly, they're denser, so they're not as moist in the middle or wet in the middle. If you cut open an English cucumber, you know the ones that are wrapped in plastic at the grocery store. Those are similar. Those are pretty dense in the middle. A regular cucumber is very, very wet in the middle, and that matters in this recipe that I made because the cucumbers sit in a saltwater brine for a week, and that pulls a lot of moisture out of them.
Mhm.
And so some pickles end up with they're hollow in the middle.
So are they denser, like closer to what you would find in the center of a zucchini?
Yeah.
Not quite as much, but maybe
Yeah.
closer. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so because these that I got, they were very plump, and I suspected when I got them, they were pretty big, even for pickling cukes, that they might end up being a little too juicy, and they were. So that means that probably a third of them have a hollow spot in the middle, which they don't taste any different. They just look a little different.
Yeah.
But I put up about 32 pints.
Yeah.
The other night, not counting 8 pints of bread and butter pickles, some of which you got to try.
Yes, they're so good. They're delicious. In fact, I made tuna fish today. One of your favorite sandwiches. I made tuna fish today, and I used Greg's pickles, his bread and butter pickles in there, and then I put it on bread.
So good.
Yeah.
And people say to me, they're like, "You must really love pickling," and I don't really love pickling.
Oh.
It's fine. What I love is pickles.
Oh.
And so this will now last me probably 2 full years of life.
Yeah.
Before I have to pickle again. So yeah. So if you're gonna go big, and I did 35 pounds.
That's amazing.
That's
yeah,
great.
well done.
So that's what I had to share today.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, you you had been discussing it, and I came over. I was trying the two different types of pickles that you were making, and they were just great. And you had written that incredible poem about pickles and about with the cheddar cheese that you would have it with. And I'm just imagining all the cheese that we're going to have to buy now, because there's going to be so much cheese and pickles. Yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah, that'll be really great. But then you inspired me. Oh, that's part of it. So I went home. I'm like, what can I pickle? What's in the house? I started looking around. Right, the dog doesn't fit in a jar, so I couldn't do that.
The dog, by the way, is still offended over the attempt. Not gonna lie.
Well, whatever. So no, not him. I did find a bunch of green beans. So we bought the Costco bushel of green beans. You get a pack, it was like 4,000 green beans in it. And we're like, oh, we're gonna meter out this much for salads and this much for things. And we're like, oh, it's starting to get slimy. Like already, it's so fast. I thought, pickled green beans. Andrea loves these drinks called Bloody Marys.
Oh God, they're heavenly.
Have you heard of them?
I've heard rumors.
Yeah. Yeah, she loves them. I don't care for them so much. I'm not much of a tomato juice kind of person. But I like everything else about the drink, including the appetizer menu that they oftentimes without stick.
Some restaurants go over the top.
They go over the top. Yeah.
I started my bartending career at the age of 19 years old, because the drinking age was 19 in Florida at the time.
Oh, wow.
I was the Saturday and Sunday morning bartender.
Okay.
So I would work for the breakfast shift, and I would get a lot of the people who had been out the night before who would come in for Bloody Marys. So I learned to make Bloody Marys at the tender young age of 19 and got quite good at it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things.
When they're ready, we'll bring them over. You're, for maybe the next recording or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll do Bloodies.
I love that.
Okay.
Nice. All right.
All right, it's planned.
What else are we talking about today?
That's what we're going to talk about. Oh, I got an STD this week.
Oh, that's great. Yes. Congratulations.
Yes, and by STD, for those of you who are listening, what I'm referring to is a shrimp taco discomfort.
That's not what I thought he was talking about.
Oh no, that's what I was talking about. And it's just not that I ate too many shrimp tacos, because
is there too many shrimp tacos?
That's not a thing.
No.
It's because, and this is a PSA, and this goes to all of our listeners, when working with hot peppers, wash your hands thoroughly before you run to the bathroom. So, and this was the discomfort part. I ran in, did the thing, washed my hands thoroughly before I came back. So, that took place. Came back, plated the tacos, went down, sat down, eating the tacos, and get this increasingly mild discomfort in the region. And of course, my brain thinks, this shrimp has given me syphilis. Like the first thing, I'm like, oh God.
Syphil shrimp.
So I tell Andrea, don't eat the shrimp. Okay?
Yeah.
And she's like, you're insane. What are you talking about? And like, I tell her what's happening. She's like, you were working with hot peppers. I'm like, oh, that's probably more logical.
Maybe that, yeah.
So I went and took care of things. And anyway, so just beware. Just beware. PSA for everyone. Wash your hands.
I have more questions.
Yes.
None of which are going to be appropriate for the podcast. So
Tasty Chance.
I'll skip Tasty Chance after dark.
Yeah. Wait for that one.
Sponsored by Wear Rubber Gloves when you do that shit next time, Jonathan.
That applies to so many scenarios. Yeah.
But no, today, the thing we're going to talk about the most is parties.
Parties. I love parties.
I love parties too.
Yeah.
I'm headed to Florida tomorrow morning, very early, to help my brother with his 60th birthday party. He is having a party for himself, which I not only do I approve of, I encourage him to do it because it's the best way to make sure it's done right. So he's having it catered, but there's a lot of like work to do on our own, and so we thought that this was a chance to talk about. I've done a lot of this actually. The renting tables and chairs, renting. I used to for Thanksgiving in Seattle, I would very often invite 10 to 12 people, and I would rent a large round table and all the chairs and all the dishes and all the linens and all the silverware and all the glassware.
Like a party rental place or something?
Yeah.
They have those?
They do. They're everywhere. And they deliver. They would come by on the Wednesday before. I set everything up, do all the cooking.
Do you have to clean the dishes before you send it back?
No, you don't.
I love
You
this
don't
place.
do the dishes.
Can they just come every day and deliver fresh dishes and when they take the things from the day before? Because it seems like a wonderful way to do it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to talk about today. It's just sort of tips and experiences there. Yeah. Because some of them, I will tell you, are your friend. And just this is the example I'll give you. If we start with that Thanksgiving that I used to do.
Yes.
So Thanksgiving dinner, big round table, 12 chairs. You pick your color of tablecloth and you pick your color of linens, wine glasses, water glasses, plates, salad plates, forks, knives, and spoons.
Amazing.
For 12 people, I think I paid maybe $200 and included delivery. Now, this was a few years ago. Yeah. So, your mileage may vary. But key point is you don't have to do all of the toughest parts of having an event like that if you want to. And so we ended up with, it's not a hodgepodge of tables scattered around the house. It's a big round table. We can all see each other, bottles of wine out, pouring wine, talking, laughing. I did this 3 or 4 times. It was an amazing event.
Yeah.
And then they come the Friday after, in my example, Friday after Thanksgiving with a truck. You just load all the dishes dirty back into the racks. They come with a truck. They pick everything up. They take it away.
Fantastic.
So
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you had parties like that before?
Never had a party.
Come on.
I saw a party once walking past.
Through a window?
Yeah. And I just watched it for a while.
Did you cry?
Looked great. No. I was just so happy for that. No, we have parties. Yeah, we do parties. I have not done a party rental place, and I'm intrigued. I want to know more. I want to get into this, and I think that's a fantastic way to do it. What a nice business model, because all the stuff the cleanup is the nightmare, and you're like, you want to have the fun, you want things, and everything else, and everybody goes, and you're like, damn it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're just packing it back into the rack that it came in.
Yeah.
And the first time I did it, I said to the guy, I was like, he said, don't bother to wash the dishes. And I'm like, that's irresponsible. I'll just put them in the dishwasher. He said, I have to wash them again anyway.
Oh.
He said, we can't use them until they go through our industrial dishwasher. So, yep, you knock the worst of the chunks off, put them back in the rack. And again, your mileage may vary. Check with your rental place on how they want it to be done. But yeah, it was pretty great.
I love that. Oh my gosh. You might be able to hear this. It's garbage day.
Yay, garbage day.
Palermo community. So here's our friendly garbage people taking away our refuse.
I will say, on the off chance that listening right now to this podcast is my very old and dear friend, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Bill is great. Bill has commented a number of times on Tasty Gents Facebook. Bill is who sent me some fancy tuna. And Bill will recall that when we worked together, garbage day was a thing. It was thematic. I don't really remember exactly why. I somehow think it was my responsibility, but there was a point at which our appreciation and celebration, celebration of garbage day, culminated in Bill sending me a T-shirt that had garbage bins on it.
No,
I wore it proudly for years.
As you would.
As I did. Anyway, hey, Bill. We hope you're there.
Yeah, right. For those of you who are not listening but watching, look down in between us in the middle, and you'll see not a dog, but just a wagging tail of a dog. Sure. And that's Charlie Brown making his entrance into the show today. Yeah.
There's going to be a day when we figure this out. Right around 3:30 or 4 is when Charlie Brown likes to go out for his afternoon walk.
Oh my.
Which is also right about when we're recording Tasty Gents.
So that's why.
That's why he always shows up right about now.
To do this. Yeah. He goes, can you guys just talk about this later?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I got stuff to do.
So when you have entertained.
Yes. Yeah. So
what do you like to do?
When we entertain, we like to do a lot of the cooking. And we oftentimes like to have a themed drink for the night. So if we're going to make like a oh, there goes Andrea walking by from the
third
pool.
Casey Jen. Yeah, she was just knocking on the window. That's what I was just doing.
That's it.
Sorry, you were saying.
Oh, so we like to oftentimes we have a dinner, we have a thing. Unless we're doing like a wine tasting, we've done that, or and we've done parties that are around. Friends of ours have done parties like a mezcal or a tequila tasting.
Oh,
and
nice.
fun things like that. Making cheese, like I like to do the activities, right?
Yeah.
Not that everything has to be like, oh, you're going to learn something every time you come over,
Oh,
but it's just fun because sometimes especially when you're in a groups of friends and you see each other often enough, it's like, well, I saw you last week. Anything changed?
What's new since then? Yeah.
So you want to have an event, you want to have something we can talk about or do together. And as we are reading a book in our book club right now. You're a gentleman in Moscow, and one of the notes that they make in this book, and something that I think is overlooked, is appropriate seating, where people are placed in groups. And while it is less comfortable in the beginning, I always find it's more fun if I sit at a table with people I don't know much at all.
Yeah.
So, and because it's easy to sit with, like, oh, sit next to Craig, we're talking about, I don't like, but if I don't know them, hey, maybe a new great friend.
I went to a show last night, dinner and a show at PS Underground.
Oh my gosh.
What an amazing experience.
It's an incredible experience. What is this experience?
So this one was, so it's a multi-course meal and a performance. And the performance was a tribute to James Taylor and I was going to say Carly Simon, Carole King. So two singers who randomly also are on my Tuesday trivia team. So it was great to see them.
Yeah.
Carrie and Todd.
These are performers. Carole King is not on your trivia team.
Carole King is not on my trivia team. Yeah. It's true. She's not, nor is James Taylor.
No, okay.
We rejected him.
Yes.
Just all that sort of Northeastern attitude and that, what do you call it? That's just, the charm. Oh, that man, his charm.
Ripping
the worst. Carrie and Todd are our friends who are on our trivia team, and they sang. They're performers. Their actual job is performers. So multi-course dinner and a performance. And so last night was Carole King and James Taylor. So we sat and ate really good food and sang along with all the songs really loud. And I sat next to Ralph and Linda, who I'd never met in my entire life. And we chatted up the entire night. We had a great time. Ralph apologized in the beginning. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm going to sing all these songs because I love them. And I was like, brother, I'm there with you. I'm singing right along.
Yeah.
So Ralph and I actually harmonized once or twice.
Ooh.
Badly.
Oh.
Badly.
That's okay.
But no one made us
the ace from the effort.
Wait, there it is.
Yeah.
So
and Ralph used and his wife Linda split their time between here and Bainbridge Island.
Bainbridge Island.
Where my old stomping grounds.
I know.
Yeah.
So to your point, sitting next to someone I'd never seen before in my entire life.
Yeah.
Huge fun.
Yeah.
Huge fun. We had a great time.
Yeah. And one of my more favorite parts, and this is something that I enjoy, is that then I get to talk about myself a lot.
Oh.
And that's great for everyone.
It is. Yeah. It really is a win-win. Win-win.
I don't lead them with questions like, I bet you don't know this about me.
I bet you're wondering where I grew up. I bet you're wondering what I like to have for snacks.
I just read when you were not looking at me that you were thinking about. Yes.
It's true. So yes, seating at parties.
Oh yes, seating
is how we want off of that.
But party seating is the thing. And if you've ever put together a table where you have assigned seating, do they even do that anymore? I think people just let people sit wherever.
I don't know. At PS Underground, you were assigned to a table.
You were assigned to a table.
Yeah.
And I think that has a huge impact on the evening. So that's one of the things that I was cognizant of in my younger years when we would have these larger functions, and then maybe like during weddings or during large events where you're renting a hall and you have tables, you're like, am I going to sit so-and-so next to so-and-so? These two people who can't, no, I'm going to sit that person over here and this person over here. They'll, this person is gracious and this person is, it matters. So that a lot of thought used to go into those things. But no, we keep it kind of light and easy.
Which I think is good. The other thing, in keeping with light and easy, and we're doing this for my brother's party, and he realized this and is making this choice, and our mother was very concerned, which is its own side note. So he's expecting 50 or 60 people, but he does not expect to have seating for more than 40. And this is exactly the way to do this based on what I've experienced and what I've heard, which is you kind of want people up and moving around. It's not a sit-down meal. there's stand-up cocktail tables and a buffet and a bar, and it's in an art space, so there's art on the walls.
Oh, wow.
So he's kind of wanting to encourage people to be up and moving around and engaging with each other. And if there's enough seats for everyone, there's a chance that everyone will find a seat and sit down and stay there.
Yeah.
And that's not a fun party.
No, it's not.
So yeah. So if you were going to have a party and you were thinking about people kind of wandering around, I will tell you from my experience, and other, I think, actual caterers would tell you this. Don't have enough chairs for everyone.
Yeah.
Make sure people have to wander around a little bit.
Yeah. Or maybe we'll just fight for them.
Or yes,
Yeah.
you have
And
have
then
cage fights for chairs.
in the art studio.
Yes, in the
Yeah.
art studio. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Florida.
Florida. Yeah, I'll be in it tomorrow.
Florida man turned 60.
Florida man turned 60.
It'll be
I
on the
wish I
news.
had time to get that t-shirt.
Yeah.
Great for him.
Ooh,
Florida man turned 60.
you might.
I might have to come up with a way to do that.
Yeah. Something in teal.
Did they have Spencer gifts when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Spencer gifts. You could go in and buy a decal and have it put on a t-shirt like live
I
in the
never did
moment.
that. Yeah.
We used to do that.
Wow, that's cool.
Oh yeah. At the mall.
At
Back
the
when there were
mall.
malls. Go to
Yeah.
the mall.
We had them all.
Go to Spencer gifts. What were the other things that were in your mall?
Hot Topic.
Hot Topic. Oh,
Yeah.
I think I'm older than you are.
So
Spencer gets
had it.
Orange
I didn't say it was
Julius.
going in. Orange Julius. I've never had one.
I have. I had them all the time. Sbarro pizza, of course.
Sure, of course.
I don't think there was Hot Topic when I was there.
Food court, but
Um,
I mean, it's a Macy's, JCPenney, like
what
all
was
those
the
things,
place that engraved things? Things Remembered.
Ooh,
I think it was called Things Remembered.
okay,
And you could buy things and have them engraved, and you could also they would engrave things for you.
yeah. There were
So-
photography places. You can go in
Yep,
and get
glamour shots.
portraits and glamour shots.
Glamour
and
shots with
stuff.
like fireworks behind you. Pachoo, pachoo.
Yeah, all the stuff. Yeah, or your face facing this way and another face facing that
Yes.
way. Like I love that stuff.
It's great.
Face on face.
It's true.
Yeah.
All of that available at the mall. If any of you are a Gen Zer and you have not heard of malls or didn't know the kind of joy that existed there, we're glad to help fill you in on
Yeah,
that.
it's basically what Amazon turned into the web.
That's true. Yes.
It's like they just brought all this disparate things together and they
Kind of
sold it in
is,
one
isn't
place.
it?
Yeah.
All the creepy things that are on the internet used to also be at the mall.
Yes.
Lots of things to purchase
Yeah.
also used to be at the mall.
Old women walking in groups.
Old women walking in groups.
Yeah, like mall walkers.
Well, mall walkers, that was a thing.
It is, yeah. Yep. Yeah, the mall.
We've
Some of them would have rides, carousels.
Yeah.
Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, that was at the mall.
I used to, or rather one time for work, I traveled to Minneapolis and went to the Mall of the Americas.
Mall, really?
Yes, which is a huge multi-story,
It's the biggest in the world,
multi-acre.
right?
Yeah, it goes on forever. It has its own little ecosystem. It was middle of winter in Minneapolis, and it was sunny and warm, and the mall was great.
Wow.
I remember they had a cereal store. I bought a hoodie that was Cheerios themed. It was yellow. Yeah, it's true.
Honey Nut?
Just standard.
Yeah.
I'm a classic.
Your classic Cheerios.
Classic
guy.
Cheerios.
Yeah. Parties.
Any parties?
Yes.
Parties is what we're talking
That's
about.
what we're talking
You
about
probably
today.
didn't know that's what we're talking about.
If you just came in within the last 18 minutes, you're like, oh, it's parties? Yeah, we're talking about
Talking about parties, yeah.
Yeah. What else do you like to do at parties?
Oh, I like to do parties. I do enjoy an activity, as you say, or a theme or something like that.
Yeah.
So I used to have 2 parties a year,
Mhm.
and I would have a party at New Year's. Was brunch. Have brunch at New Year's and then brunch at Pride
Yeah.
in June.
Oh, yeah.
And so at the New Year's brunch, so there would be I had a big glass jar that was all mimosas, so with a spigot on it. So like 5 gallons of orange juice and 6 to 10 bottles of cheap champagne,
Yeah.
and people would just drink out of that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably a couple pictures like that.
There was a Bloody Mary station. I had a chocolate fondue at one point.
Stop.
It was messy.
Yeah,
It was
imagine.
messy,
Everywhere.
but fun. Chocolate fondue. But we did a whole what are you leaving behind? Sort of a New Year's resolution thing, but mostly like, what are you leaving behind?
Oh, for the end of the year.
So I had a box, like wrapped it in like wrapping paper, and you got to write something on it, like, okay, it's New Year's Day, first day of the new year. What are you leaving in last year? And it was everything from like my love of circus peanuts, which are a
Oh.
fine candy, by the way.
Yeah.
Circus peanuts and candy corn, I love them.
Yeah.
Leaving behind relationships, leaving behind.
Did anybody say a relationship
that they were there with. Yeah,
that they were
exactly.
with.
Yeah. I'm leaving my wife behind. In,
Sorry, Deborah.
yeah. Deborah had already moved on. And then we put everything in a box, and then the next year we'd open them up and see what had been left out.
Oh, you waited.
We waited, yeah, because I mean, everyone knew. You read it out loud. You're like, I'm leaving behind, whatever. And then you put it in the box, and then we check in the next year. We only did that once though, because like with many New Year's resolutions,
everyone stuck to them.
Nothing happened.
Oh, I see.
So Deborah was still around. So pulled it out like, I'm leaving behind Deborah.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
So yeah,
cheaper to keep her.
Ended up bringing the tone of the party down a little bit.
Yeah. I'm leaving behind my diabetes by losing 20 pounds.
Right. Wah wah. Look, my new medication. Yeah. So activities is the answer.
Yes, activities. That's a great one. Yeah. Yes. Not a downer.
Not a downer. Yeah.
Well, it was a hopeful thing. The first year, and then the next year, everyone learned something about themselves.
Well, and obviously my job as the person hosting the party and with people that I love was to say what was obvious in the moment, which was that they were failures, that they were absolutely failures. They had put the minimum effort in and really done nothing in return. And what they should do now is drink.
Yeah.
So they did. It was a great party.
The mimosas were tapped.
Oh, so many mimosas.
So many were gone. Yeah. Yeah, I like that too. I like to put my friends down, and
it's good, isn't it?
And I do, and I only ever really hang out with my friends who are less attractive than me. I just want to look good.
That's a good one. Yeah,
yeah,
same season. Yeah, which is why I enjoy hanging with you.
Yeah, walk right into it. Just walk right into that. Okay, no, that's true, and I love all my friends, and they're all wildly attractive, good-looking people.
Stop it.
Yeah, I know. Go on.
But yes, activities, spin the tail of the donkey, drinking games.
Yes.
What are you giving up? Things like that.
Yeah.
I like your I think I was at your place in West Seattle. Was it a wine tasting?
We did a wine night, yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I've done that.
And then an impromptu we have in West Seattle because we have a vaulted ceiling and it's kind of fun. Awesome. So it comes to a peak. We're on the top floor, which is wonderful because the term that stuff rolls downhill. When just recently there was a knock on the door when my mother was staying at our place, was doing laundry, only to find that the person beneath us was saying, "My house is flooding. Can you turn the laundry on?"
Holy shit.
Turns out that the problem was with her own pipes, not ours.
Okay.
But we will never have that problem
from
other people doing our laundry.
Exactly. Yes.
If we do, they have a serious clog.
Well, or somebody has fouled up and not paid the gravity bill again.
Yeah, damn it.
God, I hate that.
Yeah, I paid my HOA.
Right.
Yeah. Gravity would be painful. Yeah, we did a wine thing, and because of the vaulted ceilings, we started to have competitions for. So above our fridge, there's a series of shelving, and on top of the shelf, we have a wicker basket, a spoiled wicker basket. And when we finish a wine bottle, we toss the wine corks up into the basket, and it's kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
We make half of them. There's a whole bunch of corks on top of my fridge. I'll just say that. But then people were seeing how far back they could go.
Oh,
because competitively,
that's fun.
Yes, it was pretty fun. Yeah, and we had one person, and I have a couple of friends, two sets of friends, where he's named Brad and she's named Dawn. And Brad Graves, Dawn Graves.
We're talking about you.
I am not talking about you. I'm talking about the other Brad and Dawn. Brad and Dawn were this. Yes, Brad Graves, Dawn Graves. You're always welcome. We love you guys. But this was the other Brad and Dawn.
Oh,
and Brad was all the way against the back end of the thing at the window, and he had a cork, and he just nailed it.
Come on.
Right off the backboard, right into the thing, and
everyone cheered.
Everyone cheered.
Nice.
Actually, they did.
And what? Yeah.
Oh, sure.
It
was great. Yeah.
I did that for a while. Versions of that saved all the wine corks, and you can buy a frame, and you can actually glue them all down, and it looks maybe a little bit like a 90s basement remodel with all of your corks in a frame, but I went with it.
You know what we did? We did something similar to that, but we have these shapes and they're letters.
Oh,
and then
right
you just fill the corks in
like
the letters, and so after 1 year, we were able to spell.
Supercalifragilistic.
That's how much. Yeah, that's right.
That figures. All right, I'm looking at the we are right now
at
30 minutes.
No, we're not.
We are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we should probably start wrapping up.
Well, you have a party to get
I
to.
got a party to get to.
That's
You want a
right.
Party? I have pickleball tonight. Party's after pickleball.
What?
Oh,
No.
that party. The
Yeah.
party tomorrow.
You're
Yeah.
going to your brother's
I'm
party.
flying to a party across the country, but
Yeah.
tonight I'm going to play pickleball.
You're going to play pickleball tonight,
That's
and then we are going to wish our good friends George and his husband Chris. Chris's birthday
Yes.
tonight, so we're all going to
Happy
go
birthday,
over to their
Chris.
place to the community, and Chris
Yep.
is just the best. So
He is. They both
Happy
are.
birthday,
They're pretty
Chris.
awesome. Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Chris.
well, I don't know about George.
And
But
and my brother's birthday coming up. So
Yeah.
happy birthday, early birthday to my brother Jeff, who is also going to be 60.
oh my gosh, Jeff, good
Lots
job,
going
man.
on.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and to you,
Our
wherever you
listener.
are, we wish you a happy birthday. If it's your birthday,
Yes.
If it's not your birthday, don't take that because it wasn't meant for you.
Yeah, give it back.
We hope that your day is going well. And
Yeah.
we're glad that you joined us again here on, where are we?
Tasty Jen.
Tasty Jen.
That's right. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
You've been listening to Tasty Gents, a geeky Palm Springs to Seattle podcast.
Okay, cue jingle.
Cue jingle. Da, 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 da. There it is.